Welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, you know it must be serious. I'm wearing a tie. Actually, I can't stand this anymore. We're doing a special show tonight because my father died at the weekend, and I can't do any cheeky monkeys tonight, but they'll be back tomorrow. My first guest tonight is a good man, and he's a good friend of this show. He does me the honour of being here tonight. And sometimes you just want your pals around, just to talk. Please welcome my pal, Dr. Drew Pinsky, everybody. Hey, Drew, welcome.
Well,
how are you?
good times, huh?
Yeah. There's a phrase in Scotland, lucky white heather. You know, when things are going really badly, it's a kind of ironic thing.
Like the elephant's feather.
Yeah. There's an elephant feather.
Dumbo had a
feather.
Right. Good luck.
Good luck?
Is it good luck?
I don't know. No. I don't know. I haven't watched Dumbo in a while, but I've got a feeling I'll be watching it soon. Does he sing "You Can Be Anything"?
Not that song, but a lot of songs just like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of those songs. It's a very odd thing. Thanks for being here tonight. I didn't quite know how to approach the whole thing, like dealing with the show and talking about it. I'm not comfortable with that. And you've talked to a lot of people who were. My father died of cancer. He was.
I got to tell you, it's an honor and a privilege to be here with you after such a touching, really memorial to your dad. It's a
That's what it's meant to be.
To a great man. And all of us who've been children and had dads, I mean, just these moments that you have with him, of him touching your head and stuff, were so spectacular.
Yeah, it was weird in the hospital when we were, you know, he knew he was dying. We knew we were saying goodbye.
He's still your dad.
He's my dad, and I felt like a wee boy. And he used to get me out of so many scrapes. I don't know who's going to get me out of scrapes now. If I get in trouble now, I'm really in trouble.
So now we've sort of been touched by so much of the poignant aspects. Was there anything? Did he ever get aggressive with you? There's sort of any? It's a whole story life, you know. Is there funny stuff, negative stuff?
He never raised his hand to us, my dad. He was, you know, and in the culture I grew up in, I think that was fairly unusual. I don't know. I wasn't in anyone else's family, but it certainly my father never hit us. He didn't have to. He kind of you know, he used to say this thing, wrap it. You know, he's a wrap it up. You know, was mean. You know.
Was he huge? Was he?
He was a very big presence.
Yeah.
He was 6'2", my dad, which in Scotland, you know, in the 50s and 60s, I think probably made him, you know, Andre the Giant or something.
Right.
He was big, man.
And the Celtic's such a great breed, you know. I mean, it's just such survivors, right? I mean, that's that alcohol gene and the big.
Oh, there was a bit of alcohol, yeah. Alcohol gene is actually a woman that my father used to know. I think I've met alcohol Jean as well.
I think you've met her, yes.
My father, I don't think my father was an alcoholic. He drank a bit when he was younger, but he didn't have the craziness, and he kept his life together, and, you know, he didn't have that. There's a lot of drinking goes on over there. There'll be some done this week, I guess, as well.
Did he leave directions for what he wanted, like on his gravestone, or how he wanted to be?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. I'm not sure. I've got a feeling no. Because the way that, you know, we tend to approach problems in my family is kind of denial, and which I think is common, and, you know, and it's actually helpful, I think, a lot of the time.
I mean, there's a lot of denial that goes into the early stages of grieving. It's like it's inconceivable that the person is gone.
That's what my mother was saying today on the phone. We couldn't quite.
You can't process it. Your brain won't let you go there. And so you have dreams about the person. You have visions about the person. That's when people become spiritual. I mean, I know it's not aroma candles and whatnot, but people do have ways of trying to manage what seems to be the insurmountable. Do you have a spiritual side to you?
I think so. I don't know. I mean, in a very pragmatic way, I think for me spirituality, I hope spirituality is about service to other people. I don't.
Do you want to wish that you're going to be together with him again someday?
I don't know. I mean, yes, that would be nice. I hadn't really. It's hard to think of all that. I know that. Some people think that you go into the light and then everybody, you know, goes to a party, or, you know, or you come back again as a cow or something. And actually, that would be, if my dad comes back as a cow, I would love to see that. That would be, because that would be very funny, you know. And, that's right. You call that grass? That's no grass. That's grass. I don't know how I feel about all of that. I want to believe in so many different things, and I know that
are you jealous of people that do?
Yes, I'm jealous of people who have.
Yeah, people that have firm belief that we will be together, and that's that.
I'm jealous of that. I'm jealous of that kind of faith. I try and have faith. I try and have faith that there's some kind of, you know, giant plan for all of this. And sometimes I think, for me, it's a little bit, the way I think of God and life and death and stuff is, I used to think that it was everything had a plan and everything was set out. I'm not sure I believe that. I think now it's more like jazz. It's kind of improvised.
Right.
You know, and...
But yet, it's beautiful music. It's a beautiful...
Yeah. But nobody really knows where it's going.
Right.
And
maybe somebody. The musicians kind of know.
They know, but I think in the grand scheme of things, I'm not a musician. I'm just in the audience going, what next? What next?
Right.
And it's strange because I don't feel he's gone. I mean...
well, he's a part of you. I mean, this is how people are supposed to deal with grieving, is you're supposed to take a piece of him and hold on to it.
Right.
And it can be painful to do that because it means also accepting the fact that he's in reality gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so to take that piece inside is to really create a sort of a boundary around your life and to make a narrative out of your life of which he was an important part.
Yeah,
it's very...
I don't remember the world without him in it. No, the world has changed.
And it never will be without him.
Right.
That's your job, is to make him alive in you. And it hurts. It really hurts.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
I can see it tonight. I mean,
It stings so bad.
And we, you know, and sometimes you open by saying, you know, we didn't know your dad, but don't you feel like you know him now? We all feel like we've shared something very deep.
I hope so. I hope so. That would be great. We have to take a break. We have to take a break. We'll be right back with Dr. Drew, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with Dr. Drew, and we're talking about the grieving process, aren't we? Oh, fun.
Good time.
Yeah.
Appointment television.
Yeah, that's right.
Here we go.
Oh, man. But it's funny, though, that, you know, part of what I've been feeling since my dad died has also been maybe I should be more sad, or, you know, I mean, I'm terribly sad for a little bit, and then I'm okay, and then I think I'm all right, and then it hits me like a freight train. And it doesn't seem to make any sense.
People feel immense amounts of guilt when someone dies because oftentimes there's relief. Relief because somebody's been suffering, or relief that you've been anticipating this for so long. You've sort of been dealing with the grieving for months or even years sometimes with things like cancer. It can go on. Did you have any sense of relief with this?
God, I don't know.
Were you prepared for it? I mean, did you know this was coming?
Yes, I was prepared for it because my father and I said goodbye to each other on Friday, and he died on Sunday.
Did you believe you were saying goodbye?
Yeah, I knew I was saying goodbye. I actually cried like a wee girl all the way for about an hour after I came out of the hospital. And I have this thing that I think a lot of men have, where I don't want to show, not only do I not want to show emotions, I'm kind of ashamed of having them.
Right, you're embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm embarrassed by it, and it's not cool, you know. And although I'm not cool anyway, but still.
I was going to say that, but anyway. But the thing that I think we lose track of in our culture a lot is that feelings matter.
Yeah.
Feelings matter a great deal. In fact, that's how we make meaning of life. I mean, really, I deal with a lot of people with death and dying, and when somebody's pressed to the mirror about what life is about, maybe you and I have talked about this before, it's really always other relationships. It's other humans. And you say being of service, that's part of that.
Right.
But it's the connection with other people that gives life its meaning. I mean, that's where you get right down to it. That is what life is about.
I think so. I always find people more, like when you meet people in Hollywood, I don't know if you've had this experience, quite a lot of people will come up and tell you how great they are.
And they are.
Yeah.
How great you are.
You know, they come up and say, I'm so great, I'm doing this, I got that, I don't really have time, excuse me, I'll get right back to you, tell Spielberg, no. And I don't really like those people. But people who come up and say, oh, God, my ass hurts and I dropped my wallet over there. You kind of can connect with someone when they have a vulnerability. Do you know what I mean?
Right, it's a feeling, right?
Right.
Absolutely. So I mean, even when your ass hurts, you can connect with somebody.
Well, hemorrhoids, I don't know if necessarily their ass hurts.
I didn't know I was going to come out and talk about hemorrhoids tonight.
No. Well, it might not be hemorrhoids, it could be a bruise or something. What I mean is vulnerability allows you to communicate with someone, whereas coolness really doesn't.
We live in a culture of solutions and get it done, and it's all about, you know, feelings don't really matter. It's about, you know, choosing to do something. Yeah. That's nonsense. That is not what life is about. Life is about that human moment. I mean, life is about, I mean, you gave me a moment before I came out here, just watching you. That was, I mean, Powerful. I mean,
that's the deal here, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we do that. You know what? The word that I hate, that I hear a lot, is closure. You know, when people say, "Oh, we're going to get closure on this," what are you talking about? I can't get closure on my dad being dead.
No.
What's closure for that?
No.
It's just like.
There's some things you never get over. If your spouse dies, a child dies, a parent died, that is with you. There's closure in the sense you had an opportunity to sort of behave in a way that finished it for you in that moment, behaviorally, like you were able to say goodbye. That's a kind of
and
closure.
I feel grateful for that.
But it's not like you're jettisoning your feelings. That's not closure. Closure is just about a moment with a person where you sort of wrap things up. But this is not. This is an open book. This is the narrative of your life.
And it continues. Drew, thank you so much for coming in. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
It's such an honor and a privilege. I can't tell you.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. Dr. Drew Pinsky, everybody. We'll be right back.